was recording all. As soon as I started channeling and I brought through, I think it was Arcturians, and the energy was so high it just crashed the whole computer. So I don't know if that's going to happen this time. Maybe I'll sort of stay in a more normal consciousness. It seems like the phone's not as vulnerable, but the computer's definitely vulnerable to crashing. Um, so as we're approaching our 11 o'clock start time, I'm going to go ahead and do some sharing. Um, this is a Q&A today. So that means you can type, if you join me, you can type your questions, you can send your questions onto Facebook in the comments. And I think it's a little delayed, but I'll be able to answer them. Sometimes nobody ends up joining me. I don't know, my PR, my marketing, it's like the day of. So you might watch this on the rewind. And even if you watch this on the recording, you can also comment and I will channel the answer to your question and message it to you. Okay. So that way, everybody's covered. In the future and the present, we're all covered. All right. I'm also going to talk about the gene keys of this particular eclipse. There's a powerful eclipse that's coming up here. So I'm gonna share this out to a few different pages that I know will be okay with it. Like my story. And we'll start at about 11. So in about 3 minutes, we'll start. And I'm just going to share to some groups. Beacons of light. That's going to be my what I write in everyone. What's funny is that I used to share when Dante Starshine would do his channelings. I would share his in all the groups, and I'd just be sitting here going, okay, which group can I share in? So I'm just doing that a little bit for myself because I do believe some beautiful information comes through in these channelings. And today I'm going to be reading some from Lisa Renee's newsletter, which is truly gorgeous, truly beautiful. The occurrences that are happening in the universe right now are so exquisitely glorious. I wept while I read the newsletter last night, and I was like, okay, I got to share this. I got to share this with my larger community of light workers. So much of what we've been working for is really coming to our planet now, and it is so beautiful. And of course, we're still in this chaos. We're still going through a lot of chaos. That's there too. But the beauty that's birthing is just exquisite. Okay, let's see. Maybe I'll do emerging into love, soul, family. Okay, maybe that's probably enough. Let's see. Thanks for bearing with me if you're here. I'm just sharing this channeling out into the larger field by putting it into some groups. But anyway, I think I'll stop there. So, I'm realizing this dress is kind of busy, right? I think I'm just going to take it off. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm really glad that I took my camera off because I would have flashed you. Oh my God. That might have been the most exciting part of the broadcast. Probably would. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just, wait, hold on 1 second. Wardrobe, I need a wardrobe change. Yeah, I wanted to look a little bit more dressy than just the black, right? And this is a really good color because the ruby sun, you know, what's happening on the planet is really about the return of the ruby sun genetics, which is a mixture of the Holy Father and the Holy Mother. She's a white cosmic sun and he's a pink sun, and together they make this ruby sun. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is just do a little transmission. I'm going to start by playing a little music and then move us into our channeling. A little bit of singing. Deep in the heart of everyone is a flame that burns like the great central sun. Deep in the heart of everyone is a flame that burns like the great central sun. Stroke that flame till it grows, your love light blooming like a rose. Stroke that flame on either side till it spreads out far and wide. We are one in the great central sun, returning, returning to the one. The more, so this Scorpio new moon, right, as we know, Scorpio is such a deep dredger. It takes us to the depths of all that needs to be let go of. It's the planet of the underworld, or the sign of the underworld, right? Very watery and deep. And so, as we come into this time together, we're going to be feeling into this eclipse. We're going to talk about the gene keys that govern this particular moment in time. We're also going to talk about the great return of Mother's dark, starry, starry night, which, if you see in this picture, you see the wings of Sophia are made of the dark, dark, starry night. And this is the void sun that makes everything new again. It is such a beautiful thing. Now, this is Josephine Wall, and I think it's called Earth Angel. And I just want to give credit to Josephine. Thank you for this glorious picture, because this dark matter template, which is the return of our true divine mother, okay, it's not the black goo of the AI, of the artificial intelligence, of what we would call the imposter mother. It's the true mother. Her starry, starry night template is what rebirths our whole earth and our bodies into the plasma, the liquid plasma rainbow light, which you see again in this drawing. You see the hand of what I think, is a goddess of the earth. Maybe it's goddess Sophia, but she is holding the earth in her hands, but she's also blossoming the liquid plasma throughout. So you see the rainbow plasma coming off of her hands, and if I lean over, you can see if I just move for a minute, you can see all the flowers blossoming. Look at all that flower plasma light. Now this is what happens as the dark matter template begins to heal. The starry, starry night begins to rejuvenate all of the dead light code, bringing it back into its living light. This is what's happening right now on the planet. And I have been working for almost 39 years. In fact, tomorrow is my 39th year anniversary of going back into the dark night of the soul to assist with bringing what's happening right now forward. So this is a long time goal, and all of my very, best friends in the universe and world, and people I don't even know yet, but just all of the team of the first wavers, we're going to be the first ones to feel the gift of this template that we are the ambassadors of. And our bodies are going to be remade in the liquid plasma, which means the end of all distortion, which means the end of death. It means the end of disease. And of course, this takes time. But the true medicine of the Starry, Starry Night template is here to re-encrypt, rejuvenate, and rewrite everything in the DNA that's been distorted by AI. Okay, so I'm not going to read the whole newsletter because it's really long, and I am going to do some channeling, but let's just take a moment to take in what was just said. Let's just feel that. The dark, black, velvety, fluffy, starry, filled with stars of etheric plasma starlight. And this etheric plasma starlight is coming out of the void sun as the hand of Divine Mother herself that heals every distortion in creation. This is what we worked for all these years. So it is indeed an incredible time. My roommate's sleeping, so I'm trying to be a little quiet, but I want to sing a song of celebration just to acknowledge that this is happening. Love is returning, true love, real love, the love that we came from, the love that we're made of, right? What can we sing that's as good as that? How about, we are one with the earth, we are one with the stars, we are one with the love that flows through you and our hearts are beating in great celebration. We're dancing to the rhythm of all creation, and we'll sing this song. We hope you'll sing along. We are one, we are one, we are one. So feeling that oneness returning, right? Now, we're going to look a little bit, I'm going to do a little bit of channeling right now, and then I'm just going to see if anyone's here because, I'm here to do Q&A as well, as close as I can to answering your question if you have it. I'm only going to look on my personal page. So if on my personal page you have any question, I know, don't you love this background? It's got the Starry Starry Night on the wings. No, Josephine Wall knew. She knew what she was doing on some level when she painted this. Because this is the return of the Sophianic matrix of living light through the dark matter template as the great medicine paintbrush that brings the plasma, the etheric starlight that begins to re-encrypt everything trapped in AI, right? Everything under the fib of no chi spiral is going to return to the crystalline spiral of Divine Holy Mother, Divine Holy Father, what they intended for the human angelic Templars. It's 11:11. Thank you, Deanne. Hi, Juka. Nice to see you. And Frank, honey, you're here. Yay. So, if you guys have any specific questions, go ahead and ask. But if not, I'm just going to do a little channeling and hope that I don't destroy all my circuits. In fact, maybe I'll say a prayer of protection that as the unity frequency comes through me, somehow the EMFs are protected. I think that's what I need to do. Let's protect the EMFs because I always bring in the unity frequency and it lots of times it will crash things. So I'm just going to try. I always open my channel through light language. So here we go. Akusuna shandavaratam shikarana dovo tum samtaya tatakaratanda asiat. Olepimana sharatandu kurapam samdavratiti tikirana navratan sharatam tetevere. Emmejarana or kusundava tanda taratiti man tan sharati karanaya. We ask for a transharmonic pillar of stabilizing silver platinum light to help protect the EMF circuitry of the computer and help to create a harmonizing balance between any of the unitive entities that speak through Sarah, that they may have some kind of a buffer shield to assist with this interface. And so we ask to bring forth the guides, the mentors, the beings, the planetary councils that would like to speak to our human family in this amazing, momentous, beautiful moment. We know the height of the eclipse was about 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So we are definitely in the denouement, what do we call the wave? We're on the other side of the wave, right? So we know, but we are in the eclipse window all through these. I think it's like a 10-day eclipse window, 5 days before and 5 days after. So we're asking for all beings who would like to channel, including Sarah's higher self and the entourage of beings that like to come through Sarah, as well as any other beings of love and light that have evolved into the fifth dimensional organic matrix and beyond that would like to speak to us at this time. Yes, we are coming from the Sirian Council, and it is indeed a very momentous time on this planet. It is the return of the organic matrix of living light. As you know, some of you may know, some of you may not know, but around 240,000 years ago, there were great galactic wars which commenced throughout this galaxy. And what happened in this time is this very, very anti-Christic artificial intelligence entities and forms began to merge with Divine Mother's true dark matter template. And so there was quantum entanglement between this pure intent for benevolent organic living light and this malintent for takeover and power and manipulation through artificial intelligence, which happened by creating black dragon hybrids that were part Divine Mother's body, but it was corrupted black matter, which created this AI hybrid monsters truly that began interfering, directly attacking the cosmic mother. And so this greatly handicapped the entire creation, this quantum entanglement with the WISA matrix. Now, we must understand that in the larger arc of this great creational cycle, that free will was granted to create anything. And so we have these beautiful creations of organic love, and we have these grotesque creations of absolute horrifying monstrosities. And it has been part of the creation cycle. So we must find a way to incorporate all of this into the one heart of creation, understanding that this long detour into separation consciousness has given us a beautiful appreciation of what love is by living through not love. At its absolute finest, we ourselves, on our hearts is imprinted this incredible distortion. And so on our hearts, as we awaken, is celebrated this return to the beauty of what is love, the beauty of what is a human heart awakening to love, reconnecting to its soul family across this earth in the reunion and celebration as the divine living light returns to this earth. So we would ask you to consider the gift. Although there has been intense pain and trauma, we would ask you to consider the amazing gift of awakening out of this deep isolation, separation, trauma, guilt, shame, fear, you name it, into the return of love, of self-love, of healing, of rejuvenation, of dancing and singing on this green, flowering earth with your beloveds after a long, dark night of separation. And so this was the plan, this great plan to explore the fullness of the dark night, so that when the dawn began to come to this earth, not one particulate of that new light would be taken for granted. Our hearts would be primed through the darkness to be able to receive and appreciate every beautiful parameter of love dawning. So those who have journeyed the longest and the darkest in the night will be the ones to experience the most incredible relief as this beautiful Starry Starry Night template begins to rebirth this earth in love. The ambassadors of Divine Mother's cloak shall be filled with joy as we are filled with joy beholding you as your big brothers and sisters. We in Sirius in this council, we have held you through this blue indigo portal that all the starseeds incarnated through. And so indeed we celebrate as ambassadors of your higher dimensional selves. We celebrate the lifting of this great veil of AI interference from your earth. And we celebrate the return of love to all creation. And there is a song that we would like to have Sarah sing for you right now. We are the... Ooh, this is high. Let's see if I can do this. We are the one heart. We are the one love that welcomes everything home. And if you want to get out of the night, you must embrace all the darkness and the light. Little heart on my guitar. In the same breath, with the same beautiful lungs, we breathe the pleasure and the pain, but only love remains in the end. A love so awesome that it could accomplish forgetting so completely and coming home oh so sweetly for all the night in separation, all the night of our creation illumines our pathway home to love, knowing for the first time just who we are, that radiant shining star, shining near and far, that we are developing the negatives in God's photo laboratory, finding ourselves as the solution, the one light, the resolution that melts everything home to love. After such a long dark night, oh how it feels so right, so warm and sweet and right to come home. One flame burning, one earth turning, one soul yearning, one mind learning, one heart yearning to come home. So just feeling that the beauty of this homecoming that awaits us, right? It's funny because I wrote this song before menopause when those notes were completely mine, but now it's like, oh geez, maybe the dark matter template will re-encrypt my voice back to its full range, but we'll see. And then I'll just do this last part. And my guitar is going in for repairs probably tomorrow, so it's definitely limping along here. So much in my life has been waiting for this dark matter, starry night, to remake me anew. You know, like Persephone wandering in the underworld with panic attacks for 39 years, waiting for the mother. It's like nothing's gonna heal it until her template comes back. And it's been a 39-year wait. And so, one flame burning, one earth turning, one soul yearning. Oh, you sweet little guitar. It's just like it needs some help. One heart yearning, one soul yearning to come home. Right. So I really do want to look. Let's see if we have any questions so far. Hi, Holger. Nice to see you. Yay. I love all your messages. It's so beautiful. So, as this starry night, and I really need to talk about Vincent van Gogh because my teacher, Lisa Renee, in energetic synthesis, our online community, she confirmed for us that as Vincent van Gogh was descending into madness, he was able to see and feel the starry, starry night. And that is why he painted the starry, starry night. And so Vincent van Gogh was a starseed of the Emerald Order. And he had contact with the divine cosmic mother of first creation. And of course, he came in a time where humanity was in deep darkness. And of course, he went insane, as we know, and killed himself. But he was accessing these very same codes of what's coming right now to the earth. And so Vincent, wherever you are, I bet he's incarnated right now. And I bet a part of him is really celebrating. I have to turn up the heat in here. It's got cold. So just taking a moment to honor Vincent van Gogh and who he was and the beautiful codes that he brought to this earth in a time when those codes could not be received. And then if we look at Don McLean's beautiful song, Starry, Starry Night, paint your palette blue and gray, look out on a summer's day with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, whatever it is, right? It's like, I think Don McLean just really tuned in to that beauty of the mother's Starry, Starry Night as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Don McLean was a piece of the same soul of Vincent van Gogh, right? The same core soul group. Maybe the same soul. I don't know, but I just needed to say that. Now I want to show you something I made last night. And I just think it has a lot of beautiful codes in it. It's a mandala that I actually drew the pattern a couple of years ago, but last night I felt drawn to color it in. And just looking at the beauty of, if we imagine that center as a flower, as a, funny, that white part, it'd be fun to make that disappear, wouldn't it? My head's popping in and out of the space-time continuum. Yeah, it's kind of fun with these Zoom backgrounds. But if we look at this central flower, it looks kind of like an iris, doesn't it? Yeah, so the iris is actually the sacred geometrical code that overrides all sexual misery. And we know that Vincent van Gogh painted the irises too. So he painted the iris and the starry night sky, which are the greatest healers, in a time at least 300 years before it would ever be received by our planet. Wait, 200 years, 300 years, whatever. A lot of years, right? And so, of course, that's not an exact iris. The iris has a very specific shape, and it has this gold in the middle, and it has white. And the first order of healing of Divine Mother's Starry, Starry template is the sexual misery program and the end of sexual abuse on this planet, the end of child trafficking. I think this is the first thing we're going to see coming up here is trafficking being fully revealed and the children being set free from the underground. I think this is the first thing we're going to really start to see, because that's Divine Mother's number one charge, right? That is her number one charge. And all of our bodies are actually going through, especially our feminine bodies, are now going to begin going through a full-scale healing, which means every distortion, every painful memory, everything that the tissues of the vagina, the uterus, the cervix, the G-spot, especially in the cervical bundle and the G-spot. Lisa describes all of this in her newsletter. This is going to be re-encrypted by the liquid plasma, making all AI and all painful memories, everything, just re-encrypted by this divine love of the starry, starry night, with its stars of the cosmic fire, water, ether, and that's what blooms the plasma. And somehow this iris, this sacred geometrical shape of the iris, overcomes the dark flowering that was done through the abuse. So the iris, and again, Vincent painted the irises. Excuse me, I've got some stuff over here. So let's talk a little about the gene keys of this particular eclipse. It's kind of interesting. Let's see. Okay, guys. Oh, your mom loved that song. I know, isn't it so beautiful? And Don McLean had the softest voice, right? So soft and loving. Starry, starry night. So in a way, Vincent lived on through Don McLean. I mean, he really did. It's so beautiful. Okay, so let's look at the gene keys of this particular eclipse. Let's see, where did I put it? It's in my gallery. Okay, so this eclipse, the sun, let's talk about where the sun is, and then we'll talk about where the moon is. So the sun right now is in gene key 28. Gene key 28, whoa, excuse me. Gene key 28, at its shadow frequency, is purposelessness, right? Without the Divine Mother's holy template in here, the sense of purposelessness, anything we do is in a compromised matrix without Divine Holy Mother and Divine Holy Father. We're literally, we're not cooking with gas. So why bother, right? There's that sense of purposelessness. And, even if we don't look at it from that larger perspective, just that sense of like, what am I doing? What's it all about, Alfie? Why am I here? What's my sense? What's my raison d'être? What's my reason for being, right? This the shadow frequency of that gene key takes us into some dark places. Like, what am I doing? I remember one time when I was in total deep despair, I decided to type into the search engine, how the hell do I proceed.com. I just sat there. I opened up every browser I knew and typed, how the hell do I proceed.com. And so there's this, and there's also the core wound of this eclipse is dislocation. Like, I don't belong here. I'm a square peg in a round hole, or I'm a round peg in a square hole, or the ugly duckling scenario, right? Like, wait a second, I'm not like any of the other in the brood. Why am I here? Where do I belong? Where is home? Okay, this gene key 2 is about where is home? At the shadow frequency, you're like a boat that's just kind of unmoored and floating. Oh God, this is the theme of my life. It's kind of hard to describe this. But yeah, it's like dislocation, right? Where am I going? Now, as we move into the gift, I went into 2 keys there. Let's go back to the 28. The 28, purposelessness, right? So as we move into the gift, it's totality, right? It's that song that I just sang, the one heart. We are the one heart. We are the one love. Even the most darkest, heinous creations that came out of God right? We gave free will. At some level, God decided to have a free will, free for all, right? So in the end, we have to totally embrace the free will, free for all. And that's totality, right? That means the parts of your life that you really like and the parts that you really don't like. Putting your heart and your arms around all of it. And that's totality. And when we bring the unconditional love of totality, we start to feel our purpose. Something starts to come alive. And of course, in that dark, starry, starry night template, it is the total embrace of all that is, which allows everything to return to Mother, right? There's a part in one of my songs, Born Again in Love, and it goes, like a great and glorious mother's heart that calls back everything that's ever been apart, and we are born again in love. And it says, that last part is, and if we look at the earth from outer space, we can see the love just filling this place. Shanty bells are ringing loud and clear. Oh, there's quite a party going on in here. And as we unlock this key to love here in earth, it ripples out in a cosmic rebirth, spreading to the universe far and wide, resurrecting all life in its tide, like a great and glorious mother's heart that calls back everything that's ever been apart, and we are born again in love. Oh, Shanti, oh, Shanti, oh, Shanti, oh, we are love. It's in the flowers and the trees, it's in the mountains and the seas, and oh, it's in you and me. It flows through my body, cells, organs, skin, and joints, through my whole body. Love anoints, it courses through us like a mighty river, and we are the receiver and the giver, rising in light, rising in love, rising in light. The earth is rising out of the night, rising in love, rising in light. We are rising out of the night. So just feel that. The song came through in 2010. But really, this is the time of that song. I'll put it in the comments on this video. It's also on YouTube. Born Again in Love. You could probably just look up Sarah Adams music, Born Again in Love. So that's what's happening. We're being born again in love. And it's through that totality. It's through the embracing of all that is. It's through the forgiveness of all that is. That all that ever became creation, embracing that back into the one heart, that is the mother's specialty. Even though they took her very body and took her codes to create monstrous distortions, in the end, she opens her arms to everything. It all came from her. Some of it won't survive on this planet. This planet is evolving beyond separation consciousness. And so beings that are super entrenched in AI separation consciousness just won't be able to make it as this planet raises her frequency, right? They just won't make it. It's not a matter of punishment. It's just the law, right? It's like the law of physics. And this earth is going into unity consciousness. So if we can't get rid of, if we cannot transmute enough of the baggage to make that big rebirth, we're going to do it on another planet. Like nobody's left behind, right? No soul is left behind, no matter what. But they're not going to do it on this planet, right? Not going to happen here. Okay, so that's the 28. Now, as you rise into the, beyond the totality of the 28, you move into the highest frequency. The song of the 28 at its highest frequency is immortality, right? So immortality. So the 28 moves from the shadow of purposelessness to the highest song of immortality by way of totality, by way of practicing the gift of totality. We move from purposelessness to immortality. Right? Really a beautiful key, and we've got 2 of them today. I looked up the gene key for today. We have 2 of them. This eclipse, we've got one as the top sphere, which is the life's work. I could show you this. I should share my screen, but in the gene keys, we've got, you can kind of see that. We've got 11 spheres. The top sphere there is called the life's work, and that life's work is the 28. And guess what? That 28 is in the IQ, which means in the mental body of this map is another IQ. So, we could think of the mind brain of the earth is going through this exact progression from purposeless to totality, to immortality. And now let's look at where the moon is, because of course we've got this solar eclipse, this new moon in Scorpio. The moon, I gotta take these off. The moon is in gene key 53, which is actually Donald Trump's life's work. So can you guess what the shadow frequency is? Immaturity. Right? And so immaturity, but we also know that Donald Trump is incredibly prosperous in the financial arena. So super abundance, but not just money. This is the highest song, the highest frequency of the 53 is super abundance. I mean, what a word. Super abundance. I'll take that. But it's not just abundance of money. It's abundance of love. It's abundance of light. It's abundance of gratitude. It's abundance of friendship. It's abundance of music. It's abundance of magic. Right? It's abundance of everything you want at that highest frequency. So it's a powerful key. The moon is in this key. Now at the shadow frequency, it's a mess. It's immaturity. It's running all over the place. It's looking for love in all the wrong places. It's addiction. It's just ADD. It's just like running around and just misguided and just like Donald Trump's kind of, yeah. Anyway, so at the gift frequency, it's expansion. Okay, this key is all about expansion. And one of my best friends has this thing in his, my good friend Galen has this one somewhere, I can't remember where, but expansion. It's all about expansion. So these are beings that love to travel and expand their horizons, right? So this eclipse, this moon is carrying this energy of expansion. Jupiter's a lot of expansion, right? Planet Jupiter. And then, of course, at its highest frequency, superabundance, right? This means that all of that energy at the shadow that was channeled in all these ineffective streams, just running around, immature, is now channeled, focused, and running maximum efficiency, which is really what Divine Mother is doing. She's bringing all of the needless, useless distractions and all the AI interfering pathways. And she's bringing them all back into this beautiful, efficient circuit of a living life form, right? For all of us going through this, being remade in her love, being remade in the original code that emanated from first creation when divine, angelic, Christed, dragon, Templar humans were created. I couldn't repeat all that. Just say divine humans were created. Yeah. Divine, human, angelic blueprint. That works. Lisa says divine, Christed, Templar, dragon, solar. Lisa can use like 900 words, man. You just like, are you kidding? Are we still in the same sentence? Like, you just can't believe it. So, let's look at a little bit more at this. The SQ, the heart of this eclipse, is my life purpose, gene key 39. Wait for it. Liberation. Planetary liberation, man. Right? We're like the Navy SEALs that are like, we're going to liberate this motherfucker no matter how dark, we have to go. No matter what we have to battle, we're going to freaking liberate this place from slavery. So beautiful that the heart of this chart, the heart is the 39. At its shadow frequency, it's provocation. 39 people piss you off. They trigger the shit out of you. I'm a 39. People either really like me or they're like, get the fuck away. At the shadow, it's provocation. So, right, this eclipse might be provoking all kinds of stuff, right? It's like the provocation is like the jackhammer that goes down and loosens up the sewer under the concrete of our defense mechanisms. It just goes right in and says, and the shit flies in your face, and that's the shadow frequency, right? It's a disruptor. This person is a big disruptor. You can put this person in a room and people will start feeling nauseous. They'll start clearing. People will start having to go have diarrhea because it's liberating stagnation, right? Through provocation. Okay, that's the shadow. As we move into the gift, it's all about dynamism, right? Like, what happens after you pour the clear light into the compacted feces in the bowel? It starts moving. That's dynamism. Things start moving. Good things, bad things, all kinds of things, but they're moving. Nothing's trapped in stagnation. So at the gift frequency, there's this movement happening. Like, holy cow, that's awesome. We're not going to have a heart attack because it's moving now. We're not constipated anymore because it's moving. The colonic is working because it's moving. Things are moving. So that is the gift. Now, at the highest gift, it's liberation. We are free. We are free from all limitation. We are flying free. God's sovereign free liberation. So that's the heart energy of this eclipse. Let's look at the emotional energy of this eclipse. It's another Donald Trump key. Okay. Vanity. Vanity to discrimination to purity. Okay, so really, I always think of Gene Key 12 as like the barometer. It's knowing how to detect purity, really knowing where the purity is and how to follow the purest path, right? With the shadow, it's all about egoic self-importance and the way things appear on the image level, on the physical level. It's all about physical appearance, right? At the gift, the person is starting to realize, You know, is it really all about image? I mean, is that really where purity is? And they're starting to detect it as an energy frequency rather than just the physical thing, right? And so they're like, wow, how pure is the heart? It's all about the purity of the heart, discriminating between egoic vanity and true heart purity, right? Because they both attract us. Glamour, physical glamour and beauty can be very attractive. But if we put that before the purity of the heart, then we're really not following the path of our highest, right? And then at the highest frequency, it's purity. This key is a lot about romantic love within the self, the union of lover and beloved that happens when we come into the heart. Is that Gene Key 12 in its highest song, right? Incidentally, I love doing Gene Key readings, so if you want one for your chart, just PM me or DM me, or, you know, PM, DM, direct message, personal message. Anyway, okay. Let's look a little bit more here. 3141. Okay, so we've got, we've also got this beautiful key of the 17. Now the 17 is all about this far-sightedness. Think of a hawk or an eagle flying over a canyon and just seeing the big picture. So the more we can open to the big picture, the better, right? At the shadow frequency, the 17 is about other people's opinions. What do they think about me? Oh, what's that person thinking about me? Ooh, and judging others. And it's all about judgment and self-judgment and opinions and letting other people's opinions really affect your state of being. It's a really painful key. I have it. It's in my IQ. It's in my mental body. It's a sad one. You don't want to let other people define your life, right? That's the shadow frequency. Or you trying to define someone else's life. That's no. It's none of your business. It's like, okay. But the gift frequency is this beautiful farsightedness. You're like the bird that can fly over the canyon and see all the details. This is the key of the prophet, right? This is what enables my mental body to really channel the broad vision of the galactic and really hold that and, you know, bring that into words. It's that 17. It's the visionary, the prophet that sees far into the future and far into the past and sees everything within the perspective of this great arc of creation, right? And at the top level, it's omniscience. I mean, that's a big word, like all-knowing. It's the all-seeing eye of God. So that's in this eclipse. That's here in the in a good spot in the IQ of this eclipse. Now let's see, what's that? Oh no, it's in the culture of this eclipse. I need to see the whole chart, people. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Culture. The emotional body of this eclipse was in the purity. The heart was in the liberation. The mental was in the totality, immortality. The pearl is in universal love, which is really beautiful. Isn't that just so beautiful? The pearl, universal love, which is Gene Key 25. I feel like singing another song. It's a universal love song. What's a universal love song? Well, born again in love, right, is universal love. But the Gene Key 25 at its shadow is constriction. And then at its gift is acceptance. And then at its highest frequency is universal love. Universe, one verse, universe, one verse, universe, one verse, the earth is, excuse me, the earth is changing and so are we. forgot to put this down, but if you want to send any donation for this transmission, you can do that at Venmo Sarah-Adams-166 or Frank Martin 1963 at yahoo.com through PayPal, friends and family. Okay. We are one life, one love, one beating heart of everything. We are a part. We are one voice, one song, singing through the night, birthing a universe of light. We are one in the great web of life. We are one in the great web of life. We are one in the great web of life. We are one in the great web of life. So you can just feel the universal love in that song. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. So this universal love is in the key of the pearl. I forgot. It's in the pearl. In the gene keys, the pearl is a very beautiful key. It's kind of like what makes you you. It's the best way I could explain the pearl. My pearl is 8, and so what makes me me is this absolute, unique, non-conventional, like absolute style that is you can't fit into any box. So that's my pearl, so you can imagine. Because I'm a weird duck, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm my own original thing. I have a path that's very different from almost anybody else's, and I express in a very different way, you know, than most everybody. I know that's the 8. And the 8 does not want to be conformed to any box. It can't stand any system that has jurisdiction over it. It has to be its own individual, unique style, right? That's the 8. Okay. And we talked a bit about, so selfishness to altruism to selflessness. That's also a part of this, the gift. Selflessness, altruism, reaching beyond the self. That's in the evolution sphere. And then, my gosh, we've gone through most all of it. The vocation or the core wound is unity. And we talked about dislocation, when you're feeling like you don't know where you belong. That's the shadow of Gene Key 2. Where do I belong? Where am I going? You remember some of you guys in my generation, remember when Diana Ross in the movie Mahogany, remember when she says, do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Very much like this dislocation, this melancholy. Like, where's my boat headed? You know, there's this island I'm looking for, but where is it? And where's my compass? Is it facing the right direction? And so that's the shadow. And as you come into the gift, you start to find your way. You're finding your way on the path. You're finding your own unique way on the path. What is that unique way on your path, right? And you're finding it. You're starting to get, the emperor has a new groove, and he's starting to know, oh, I know where I'm going. Yes, this path is getting me somewhere, so that's the gift. And then at the highest frequency of Gene Key 2 is unity. You know your place. It's like the lock and key enzyme. You fit into the harbor like a jewel, like a glove. The hand fits into the glove. And this is unity. And this is on some level, I think, what we're all seeking. And we have to find this unity within the self, right? We have to find this unity really within ourselves. And then we begin to see it out picturing everywhere in this festival of celebration, which is what the Divine Mother's bringing. She's bringing us back to unity, right? And so, yeah, I'm just going to go into my live and see if anyone has any questions or any comments. Okay. Mostly I've got my sweet trio of Holger and Joka, and Troy's here now. Hi, Troy. And Bonnie. Hi, guys. Yeah, so this has been a fun transmission today, and I think I'm going to close it here pretty soon. Just taking some deep breaths. This beautiful gene key chart that governs this eclipse. All the beauty. Let's just read all the highest frequencies of the chart of this eclipse. Right? All the beautiful frequencies. Okay, so the highest frequencies of this eclipse: immortality, selflessness, humility. That's one key we didn't do, the 31, which moves from arrogance to humility, to the pathway of leadership. So humility. Emanation, we didn't do that gene key, that moves from fantasy to emanation by way of anticipation. It's like the ketchup commercial, right? Anticipation. You're starting to make your dreams real, and you're anticipating. When you're in the shadow of fantasy, nothing's becoming real, right? It's just you with all these ideas, and God knows I've been through this one, but nothing's becoming real. But when you get real, when you start getting into the body and you start feeling your dreams coming closer, then you have this anticipation. You're waiting for the ketchup to come out of the bottle. Anticipation. And when you get to the top of that frequency of the 41, you are the emanation of beauty. You are the emanation of the mind of God. You're literally emanating your path. It's a beautiful key, the 41. Okay, it's a start codon, so it's like that the inception of creation is flowing through you. It's like a first codon that starts. Richard explains that in the book. I don't quite get it all the time. Liberation, right? We said that already. Superabundance, purity, omniscience, universal love, unity. Those are the beautiful virtues of this day, this eclipse. So the main focus of, I only did a short channeling. The main focus of that channeling was that to be thankful and grateful and embrace that which is even the most difficult to embrace into the heart. For as we give thanks for this playing field that has enabled us, separation consciousness enables us to feel the dense physicality of flesh. We all know what it's like to kiss, to make love, even just to touch the flesh. Right? This flesh is only possible in a fallen 3D, inorganic matrix. Isn't that interesting? The density. So the gift of separation consciousness is this incredible, this beautiful, tangible instrument. Excuse me. and the full spectrum emotions that we can feel from within this visceral heart. And we can taste with this tantric ecstasy interfacing with flesh. That is the gift of the dream of separation. So without that AI distorting the original template, we wouldn't have this incredible playing field of this flesh, of this earth as we know her, right? It's different. It would be more light filled, and it wouldn't be it's not going to be the same as we move beyond this third dimensional experience. And we're going to look back and be like, oh man, wasn't that amazing to touch you? Wasn't that amazing to make love to you and feel the goosebumps on the flesh and eat that incredible peach at sunset and behold it through our eyes, gazing upon that beauty of the earth and feeling it mingling tantrically with our flesh. I mean, this is an e-ticket ride in the universe, this planet. This is not to be missed. With all the pain and all the trauma that it holds here and everything we've been through, it's incredible. But when we look at how incredible it is to be here and what a gift it is to have this body and to have mountains. Mountains are created from cataclysm. They're created from destruction. They don't exist. Planets that have evolved into unity don't have mountains. Mountains. Rivers flowing down mountains. The incredible way this earth is, just her incredible landscape. This was created from cataclysm. This was created from major destruction. So there's just all this incredible full spectrum creation, destruction that gives us the gift of being humans on this fallen planet. What a gift. What an incredible gift to know what love is, to be able to reach out and hold a hand, to be able to feel the lips of your beloved. And of course, the ecstasy of orgasm, the way that moves physically through the tantric ecstasy of the body. It's going to be different. This place is very special. Very, very special. All right. So I think I'm going to close. Maybe I'll close with a song. Send some prayers to my housemate who's having trouble with a lot of coughing. So just sending some healing to her right now. The song I'm feeling is an Ashana song, and it's called Loving Kindness. So as we tune into that universal love, Loving Kindness is a beautiful song. Loving kindness for all beings, from the one beyond the stars, through the darkness into light, we behold the gift of loving kindness, and kindness to ourselves, right? Even if our life is not what we feel it's supposed to be, if we can just love and accept what is, right? For all beings, still holding our highest inspiration, but loving ourselves right now. Darkness, and not comparing to anyone else's path. We can only love ourselves in isolation, really. We have to know that our feet are on the journey that's meant for them. And though we may not understand the timing, we can trust that Divine Mother has our back. She's here now. If we can just rest in stillness a little more, we can hear her guiding us like never before, right? Here in the heart, all is peace. Here in the heart, all is well. Loving kindness for all beings, from the one beyond the stars, through the darkness into light, we behold the gift of love and peace. Loving kindness for all beings, through the darkness and into light. So just sending that loving kindness, that universal love, beautiful universal love of our gene key 25, that unity, beautiful unity of our gene key 2, that liberation from suffering of our gene key 39, that purity of heart of our gene key 12, that humility, that immortality, that omniscience of the great prophet that sees all within this context of perfection, and that superabundance that happens as we give our life to love. We let the dark matter, starry, starry night of Divine Mother remake us, and we are born again in love. And with that, I will say blessings, blessings, everyone. Powerful eclipse. You know, we're having another one. I'll do another transmission on the next eclipse for sure. Yeah, and if you want to donate, you can find me at Sarah-Adams-166. And Frank is at frankmartin1963 at yahoo.com. And friends and family on PayPal, if you feel like donating to this transmission. Not making any money right now. Everything is given to the Dark Matter template, which takes me completely into the Void Sun to pull it in here. Been doing that for the last 3 months. Absolutely no work in the world. Just being inside the Void Sun, pulling this template through. It's here now, so I'm hoping that perhaps I will find a niche where I can bring money to myself, aside from asking for it here on Facebook. All right. Much love, everyone. Many, many blessings. I'm here if you need me. You know, I work with people going through big initiations, through multi-dimensional embodiment. These are big times. You know, we're getting all our fire letters and our jewels. We are turning on all the engines that have been latent. All the soul pieces are able to come back and join us as our frequency raises through this dark matter template. It is a wild time for sure. So seek me out. This is my expertise, right? Because I've been in a 39-year dark night of the soul, cycling back and forth into the topside world and then the underworld and the topside world and the underworld and both at once. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. So I really can embrace you in some of those most bizarre places and help you find your way to the home port, the harbor of your now self in this moment. Everything's coming home into the now self. Okay. Much love, and I will say goodbye. Goodbye.